Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. This is the White Collar Gum, the creative and artistic manifestation of angels in politics. And remember, you are the news, of course. I hope you are having a spectacular evening, and I hope you're, doing what you need to do in this interesting time that we're having right now. I mean, it's been, I don't know how many weeks, 7, 8 weeks into this pandemic, or since we've had a shutdown and state of emergency. So, right now, for fuck's sake, see, and that's the reason why I gotta tell my mama. So I'm in front of this seafood restaurant whereby, like, it has probably some of the best, well, I'm not going to say some of the, definitely hands down the best she crab soup I've ever tasted. But the seafood is, like, top notch as well, so shout out to Pirates Cove. So I'm out here right now just waiting on my order, but I wanted to use this time to communicate with you. I have written within my notebook that I needed to do at least a video a day, and I did something earlier today, but I didn't do a video yesterday, so I'm covering the bases doing 2 today, and that's pretty much where I'm at with it. I spoke to you earlier about how I'm really getting into the creative process of writing Homegirl de Liaison, and the Rose Aesthetic is coming together as a pretty interesting body of work from where I see it. I'm going to speak with my homegirl this weekend, or probably within the next few days, as to how she views it, how she will be able to infuse my ideas with her artistry, her technical and visual expertise, with her prowess from her lens, and how we're going to be able to coalesce those those concepts and our characteristics, our traits, and bring that together. So yeah, I'm keen, to say the least. I'm low-key keen. And it's interesting, I saw on my homegirl's timeline, not the one who I'm doing a film with, another actually, like, tremendous young woman. I met her through my mom because she does nails and stuff like that, and I go there because my feet are horrendous and she knows how to, like, get them sorted out. But we have conversations. She's like she is my age, so we talk a lot about where we are, and she's a business owner, she's an entrepreneur, she's a go-getter. I actually conducted an interview with her on my page for Political Connections on Facebook a few months ago. So be that as it may, I looked at her Instagram story earlier before I pulled up here, and it was something along the lines of it was some meme of the Grinch or something, or sitting on the couch in some type of interesting pose, and I think the headline or the tagline was, "This is how my bud is waiting for me when I come home," or "This is how this is how, like, the tree is waiting for me whenever I get back home," and, like, the Grinch is, like, bent over and it's all furry, and it looks like, a pretty. It looks like it could be, a bud for sure. It is interesting. Interesting is a word that I'm saying a lot, but yeah, that I think it's a peculiar time for me because of for the people who do know me or knew me for the past, let's say, 10 years, maybe not 10, 21 maybe. So, like, so, like, the past 9 years, I've been an avid, like, chiefer, or, yeah, no, for sure. Not Snoop Dogg, not Wiz Khalifa, nothing on that level. I wasn't smoking a pound a week or some shit, or whatever he said. An ounce a week. But I could get it going for sure. Waking and baking was the norm, and this was Sunday through Sunday, and then just periodically throughout the day, anytime that it would wear off, I would smoke again. Before going to bed, I would smoke. At night, have a little glass or two or three or the whole bottle of wine and then smoke. All of that was a part of the day to day. And even starting this year, like, I was starting to feel at the end of last year and starting this year, I was starting to feel that I wasn't receiving the same satisfaction, the same gratification from smoking in the way that I used to. I felt like I wasn't getting as high, and I knew it wasn't like the weed. It was just the fact that I could consume more. Maybe I built a tolerance for it, but like, building a high weed tolerance isn't that fun, because you want to get, you want to have that feeling of being in an altered state, or being high. And if you're smoking and you're like, I'm not getting high, or you don't feel that altered, then it's just you out there, like, pulling on, backwoods, or a Dutch master, or whatever the case may be. I mean, I smoke papers too, but there's a difference with a blunt for sure. So, I was in that space for a minute, and starting January, slowly, it was an incremental shift. How, like, yeah, I'm not really receiving what I used to from this, and I'm not. It doesn't. It's not activating. I don't feel activated in the same sense as I used to whenever I was smoking. So, I think a lot of that does come down to, where I am in this stage of my awakening, right? So, I mentioned before that I was, doing a lot of shadow work at one point in time. And the shadow was me going into myself and figuring out, like, oh man, like, who am I? I had to kind of like get rid. I had to. It's almost like a caterpillar. I had to, you know, break out of this. Well, yeah, I guess the caterpillars go into a cocoon, but into a sense, I had to like shed my skin. So I guess it's not a caterpillar, but I had to shed my own sense of self, or who I thought I was, or what I was at that moment in time, in order for me to transform and awaken and bloom and blossom into, what is going to be coming in the future. So, yeah, at that time, I was drinking heavy. I was smoking heavy, and it wasn't like, oh man, I'm smoking because my head hurts. Or I'm smoking because I'm so sad. Or I'm smoking because I feel useless. It's like, no, 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 no. I really enjoyed it. I was having a good time, and I was doing a lot of writing. I mean, a lot of those notebooks were a lot of the flows that I have in my notebook to this moment was took place, or was a, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I contributed quite often, or the smoke was a heavy influence into how I was, getting into my notebooks. But it was altering my dreams as well. Like, whenever I was smoking, I wasn't having dreams, or it was difficult for me to remember my dreams. Um, I'm waiting. Okay, so, yeah, either that, yeah, that type of thing was going down. But now, when I see, yeah, not Davis. So now, whenever I hear, I'm waiting for my name to be called for my food. So now, whenever I hear that, like, people are, smoking heavy, or they're chiefing, or when I see these memes about, like, damn, where's the weed man? Damn, like, let me go ahead and, whatever, whatever. I like. It feels kind of good, It feels good to not have that. That, like, string being pulled of, like, wanting it, or that, attachment is an easier way to say it. Like, I don't, I feel detached from it. I feel like it's not a factor in my life at this moment in time, and it's not that I've like denounced it for the rest of my life, or I haven't denounced it at all. It was more along the lines that intrinsically, like inherently, I don't want it right now. I don't need it right now. I'm enjoying, I'm enjoying the sobriety. I am embracing the 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 feeling of not having to do this or having to smoke or needing to smoke to feel a certain kind of way. So it is a really good feeling. And of course, yeah, like I'm saying, I'm still in this awakening process. So I am aware that it will trigger some things. It will trigger some things, and I want those triggers to be awakened and aroused, and I want the Kundalini energy to permeate through my vessel in a natural way. And whenever I do smoke, I mean, smoking is natural too, but like it is an altering substance, and those kriyas, or that awakening of energy, that arousal of energy that I used to receive from smoking was like what to me was what really like showed me like in a visceral, like vivid sense that, oh shit, like something is going on, like something is going on with me or within me, and I had no idea. So and that was a few years ago, not that long ago, but that was, yeah, within a few years. So for sure, like I knew like smoking like awakened something. So now I kind of want to like be a person who can control it or access it without having to smoke. So yeah. That's where I'm at right now. And if you're a chiefer, if you roll up on a regular basis, if you like to pack the bowl, pack the bong, like I'm so with it. Like I'm with it because I know how it goes. I know how it goes. I've been there. When I mean I've been there, I'm talking like a few months ago. I was there. Like so, like I get it. I get it. And do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. I would just hope you don't allow it to become a hindrance to your growth and your development in the way that I may have allowed it to. I hope it doesn't encumber you or limit your capacity to further, enhance and develop yourself and cultivate your spiritual gifts because of you leaning on, the weed, or you need to smoke, or people need to like drink and smoke in order for them to be sociable or go out, and for a minute, like I definitely don't need that to be sociable, but I needed to have something within, I had to be charged up somewhat. Well, not somewhat, I needed to be charged up if I was going out, because to me I was like, what's the point of me going to a bar if I'm not already drinking? Or what's the point of me going out to any type of public event if I can't smoke before I step out? Yeah, it was just a normal thing. Like, why go to a movie sober if I can hit the bowl in the car? Like, it was always something. So now I'm working out without the weed. Now I'm interfacing with people. Now I can be with my family and have dinner, and as soon as I'm finished eating, I don't have to like step outside like I normally used to do. So it's a good thing. And yeah, I think it's just the inner workings of the awakening in the Kundalini, and soon it might be a point where I don't have a desire to smoke at all. Even drinking now, like on Sunday, I had 2 glasses of wine. My heart was beating. It was not a comfortable feeling. I was like, I don't like this. The red wine was fine. Actually, it wasn't red wine, but the white wine was fine. It was just the fact that like I reacted to it, and it was an averse reaction. So like I had this, I'm starting to feel like, oh, maybe this is an aversion. Maybe I should, like my mind wasn't necessarily needing it, but like even my body now was like, oh, so that is something that happens whilst you're awakening. You won't have those desires for things, and you will have an aversion to them, and your body will let you know. So, namaste, namaskar.